So we have better security since President Tinubu took over office. Under him, Borno State Governor just warned recently that the impacts of ISIS and Boko Haram, if not checked, could run Nigeria off the map. And every day, look at Benue State, for instance, there is, because he's just talking about Southeast. I don't know how that data came about. But every day he's busy telling us how one thing happened and all of that. I don't know when he thinks they took over, but I think it was also under him that the Labour Party chieftain was murdered, brutally murdered in Abia State. It was also under him that SP Angbashim was also murdered. So I don't know what the Chief of Army, the National Security Advisor is driving at. Maybe you can have a better understanding of that, Comrade.
I think I like the way he concluded. He said they work more, they talk less. And let's just believe that they are not talking, but we are hearing things. So where are we hearing the things from? I think we just talked about SP Angbashim Bako. And not just talking about SP Angbashim Bako. You ask yourself, all that is transpiring now in the country, or all that we have seen lately in the country, when and how did they happen? Like, I think he made reference to 3 weeks ago. And if he's saying 3 weeks ago, the ones that happened in Imo State, the beating of Ajero and all that, I don't know, security breaches. Oh. And if someone had wanted to look at those as issues, would they not accumulate to very rancorous matters that would have possibly escalated to things that we cannot be able to manage? But whether as it may, I think we should give them some slack, because one way or the other, the hunger in the land does not even make us keep tab of the kind of horrible things that are happening in the country. Talking about people being kidnapped here in the world, people being missing persons here and there, and for one reason or another, I think the NSA has better information. Thank God it's coming from the NSA, so let's not say it's an alleged statement. Let's believe that it's a statement of fact, and we want to work with it. But give or take, I do not think it is completely correct and fair to the Nigerian people as it is, because whether we accept it or not, every day you keep getting feedbacks from the people traveling by road to Lagos from here, and you keep hearing stuff that transpires. But let us not be, I think we should be better for us not to be doomsayers, but to be optimistic people, toe his line, believe that the country is getting better, and in the course of the country getting better, we'll be looking at the sincerity of the security structures functionality. Because if you are talking about things working better, since September 8th up until today is what, 15th, and was some rat tag kind of people that just stay in the bush. These ones are not even in the river anymore. So they went to the IC, they served something, they stuff like that. These are put in the bush, and the Nigerian police have not been able to condone off the bush and be able to apprehend those persons as it is. This was resurfaced again 5 days ago, and the people that were killed in MOA, is that not a security breach with the Niger data? Is it 3 weeks ago? This is not happening within 3 weeks now. So was we saying
the Sunday issue?
Yeah. Well, are we saying that a pipeline needs to be blown up, or some expatriates have to be kidnapped first before they are counted as security breaches or security issues? But give or take, let's give him some slacks. Let's hope and pray that in the midst of a very, 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 very hopeless situation, some very good things will come out of it. Because trust me when I say, I have said it before, I'm still saying it. When the head is faulty, then the team put together is about the worst kind of team of people put together to work as a workforce under any administration known to Nigeria in all our democratic space. However, we must give the value some slacks. He has some reputation to protect from where it's coming from, to the best of the knowledge of the Nigerian people. So let's take his words to a level however difficult, kind of serious, and believe they are building and working out something on those statements. But give or take, every Nigerian needs to be careful. Does not start running Uhuru believing and saying that the entire system has been completely cleansed and is now a free, fair movement and safe environment for all to do business.
Now, let's look at another angle to this conversation, where he said we were producing 1.1 million barrels per day, and now we are producing 1.7 million barrels daily. The issue of pipeline protection and surveillance. About a month or thereabouts ago, the NSA, in the company of Emele Kyari, Okpuzor, and some of them were around the Niger Delta touring this region, and he made a statement saying that he is still worried because Nigeria still loses about 400 barrels per day to insecurity. Now he's coming out to say that that has been taken care of, because from 1.1 we now have 1.7 million barrels per day, which says that something better is coming up. There is an ongoing ruckus, if you may, around the Niger Delta in terms of pipeline surveillance contract and all of that. Wouldn't it be fair for the NLC to say, we acknowledge that these issues are going on, but this is how that is being managed? Because these guys have come out severally to want to say this is their stake on this. So if we're talking about the increase in pipeline crude oil production per day from 1.1 to 1.7 barrels per day, million barrels per day, wouldn't it be nice or fair for the NSA to also address that issue that may be trickling up any moment from now?
I think that issue has been put to rest, because I want to believe that the contract of the Data Security Service has been renewed, as the company saddled the responsibility of securing the pipelines. If my informations are right, I think that is what it is. And if that's what it is, it's only upon the onus of the fact that where we are coming from as a people and where we are today, it is, even the blind can see it. And like I have said, the genius in the modus operandi that the Data Security Services applied in the management of this, or the management of this pipeline, that is unprecedented. It has not happened before, but the results speak for themselves. Like the lawyers will say, the facts speak for themselves. The obvious still remains. Talking about figures, I don't want to go into figures, but I can say without mising words that we saw a Malakari who went to the floor of the House and defended why the contract has to be renewed and why the contract was awarded in the first place and should be sustained. Because if we're not enemies of this country, the only persons and people that have been able to fix this to this level for all these years that we've had these things in place is the security services. Do not forget, it's not just about security pipelines. The pipelines have been secure, fine and good. The Data Security Services have gone out to equally shut down criminals from accessing these pipelines, not just securing it. Even existing ones, that like the trunk that was directly from the Fugado's terminal, that has been there for decades, that was almost siphoning virtually the same quantity that the Nigerian government was making per day. A set of persons in Nigeria were making it the same quantity per day. And even with all the information that the Data Security Services brought out, the government has not really addressed those issues. So for me, I think that, like you rightly said, people have come out to talk about capacity to make this thing, make it more robust, let people go, people manage their states and all. Do they really have the capacity? The talk is cheap. Do they really have the capacity? Many of these persons don't have the capacity. We know their people's antecedences, and with the antecedences, this capacity we cannot pretend. This is our national patrimony. This is our national mainstay, and obviously we are getting results. I believe we can only build on the results we are getting. Any attempt to pull up that result and say we want to settle political scores with this contract, trust me, we are only going to be diving even further. But be that as it may, like you observe, more serious issues should have been addressed. Applauding the Data Security Service for what they have done, looking at issues and letting people understand that this is the stance of government, to the fact that we are hearing rumors of people talking about wanting to take the laws into their hands, or trying to drag to themselves, arrogate to themselves powers that they do not have. All of that has to be put into consideration. And more importantly, the NSA in his person, because of the respect that we have for him before even this administration, and surprisingly it's getting involved in this administration, should have addressed the names of the companies and the directors that has been released by the Data Security Services to the federal government and to the presidency, on those who have sabotaged our national wealth by involving themselves in humongous oil thefts over these years. And if those names are released, or the stance of the government is made clear in sincerity, more respect will be accorded to the person of Nuri Badu, than talking about just talking about things in the surfaces and looking at issues that for us we have just started to poke very quickly. I think the 5 people that died in Moha, was it, in the Ahuda Aziz a couple of days ago. All those falls into the 3 weeks he's talking about, and these are serious matters. Even the persons that are alleged to have come to attack those people are persons that are wanted by government or by instrument of state. So for me, I think it is important that these serious issues are addressed by him, because they are security matters, and equally They are matters that concern our national mainstay. These are issues that I think it should have equally looked at, and that than just looking at others. To me, issues that you and I have just in a minute or two just poked and made light of them. And I think it's not too comfortable for the people of the Niger Delta and even Nigerians at large.